everybody. Welcome to Fly Free Birth Podcast. I'm with a special guest, Ryan, here. And I'm excited to see where this conversation goes. We randomly ran into each other, about a week ago?
I believe so.
And I'm going to start with that and have Ryan share that story, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so we live right by the Newport Back Bay.
Yes.
And I was on the phone with my mom, walking my dog, right next to the water.
Yes.
And as I'm walking by, I just see this little blonde hair pop up, and there's a girl sitting right next to this little creek. And I'm like, wow, that is a really cool place to meditate.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, most people would think that she's contemplating suicide. Why is she sitting in the mud? You get judged a lot around here, obviously. I just wanted to reinforce you that you're doing something really cool. So I said, that's a really cool spot to meditate, and carried on. And then I just heard Ryan in the background, and it was you. And I haven't seen you in about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So it was very delightful to run into at the Back Bay.
He didn't even know it was me. He just thought it was this crazy blonde chick that you were supporting.
Yeah.
I was meditating by the water.
Yeah.
Who is this woman? So yeah, I was trying to ground and write my intentions for the year. And then, we met about, COVID time.
Correct.
And
Neighbors, pretty much, in the same vicinity.
And I ended up going to his yoga studio. And from last week we were just chatting, and I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on? And Ryan mentioned that he's moving to Medellín, Colombia.
Can't wait.
And I just found it so interesting because I just got back from South America not too long ago and was in Medellín. My lovely jacket is from Medellín.
Super cool.
Anyway, I just kind of want to hear more of your story because you shared with me on the trail and the hike. And my podcast really is about breaking free. And I know you kind of probably have broke free kind of your whole life doing your thing.
Yes.
And really, I want to know, what inspired you to break free right now to actually take that step to move to another country, to another continent?
Well, I'd like to bring up the synchronicity is real.
Yeah.
How people say it's like a facade. Everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why we obviously met 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And to come full circle, there's a reason why I just happened to be at the Back Bay when you were down there contemplating your life by the water.
Always, every day.
So I just think it was really cool. And when situations like that happen, I just always think to myself, okay, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So I guess to answer your question, what's making me take the leap?
Yeah.
What is making me take the leap?
Or what's inspiring you to take this leap?
So I lived in, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, Hawaii, and in California in that order.
Wow.
And every 4 or 5 years, it's not that I get bored. I just feel like I have fulfilled my purpose.
Okay.
And it's time to move on. And I don't have a choice in that matter. I just start to wake up and I have all these thoughts in my head. And it's like, you got to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You got to see what else is out there. Almost like an opportunity cost. Like, this is cool, but let's just see what's on the next. What does the universe have in store for you?
Right.
So I thought I was going to retire here in California.
Okay.
I've been here 9 years. As you know, I created 4 different businesses, including the yoga studio. And then I just felt that everything was starting to be very redundant. Mm-hmm. So I love California. Absolutely love California. But my brain, my body, my soul is telling me it's time to move on. Mm-hmm. And just not to draw it out, but I got injured in February of last year.
Okay.
I was doing the aerial silks.
Okay.
I fell from the
ceiling. Maybe you can tell everyone what that means, aerial silks.
So I had an aerial arts studio. So it's like these long silks that hang from the ceiling like Cirque du Soleil. And we perform and do all kinds of tricks. It's great for fitness, flexibility, and it's very challenging. So I actually decided to do this and then teach for about 2.5 years. So if you can think of a U-shaped silk hanging from the ceiling, I climbed all the way up about 15 feet.
Wow.
It was my last attempt. I did it about 15 times. It's me and like 10 21-year-old women. What is this 200-pound 40-year-old man doing here? Challenging myself as always. So yeah, I climbed up and I hooked my leg, and then I wrapped my waist. So I have a hand here.
Yeah.
And then I have a hand here, and you do a drop. And then you grab the silk. That's the brakes. Well, when I dropped, my right foot got caught. So this right foot went up, the rest of my body went down. I tore both of my abductors completely off my pubic bone.
Yeah.
So
that sounds painful.
It was super painful. I was more in shock though.
Right.
So the unbelievable California medical care did not do their best. I had to wait like 2 weeks for an MRI. Once I got there, they listed the wrong body part 3 different times. So I had to wait about 4 weeks actually to get an MRI, and then another 3 weeks for them to find a surgeon because it was a rare injury. So basically, I got 3 surgeries because the first 2 were botched, unfortunately, and they both got infected. So I was on top of the world.
Yeah.
We were the most successful financially, and I would say spiritually and popularity-wise. We were ranked number 1 in Southern California. So very proud of that. But the way my life is, there's super highs and super lows.
Yeah.
Very bittersweet.
Right.
Can I celebrate the success I have? Yes. But the kind of entrepreneurial spirit I have is, it's a flaw of mine. I can't be present and enjoy what I've had because my brain goes, what's the next thing you can do? So that's why I basically started doing yoga and all this, so I can actually just appreciate and be present. So long story short, I was on the couch for 13 weeks, bedridden.
It's a long time.
Oh yeah. I had to, go to the bathroom in a
geez.
pot. I have I have a hard time asking for help.
Yeah.
So my friends were very, very upset at me. I didn't even tell my mom until my 3rd surgery.
Wow. That you were hurt?
Yeah.
And, oh, wow.
Well, she's 72, and I felt that shit.
You didn't want to worry, Mommy.
We call her Shelly. I didn't want Shelly to worry. Hi, Shelly. Shout out to Shelly.
Hi, Shelly.
So Shelly was upset, wanted to fly out here and kick my butt. But, after 13 weeks of being on painkillers, muscle relaxers, after a week I almost wanted to just end it all because those pills make you feel horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it get to that point?
Well, it's just I had a hard time breathing.
Okay.
I was on a breathing machine when I woke up.
Oh, geez.
Because they gave me too much Dilaudid, which is anesthetic.
Oh, gosh.
Anesthesia.
Okay.
So I had a hard time breathing for about a week.
Wow.
So you're just so out of it, you lose track of reality. So there's a couple times where it's like I don't feel like that's like a lot of work. That's how I felt, and it's like I don't care if I just stop. It's not like I wanted to die, but I was just like over the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
So stopped taking that cold turkey. My surgeon and physical therapists were pretty upset about that. But the best part about this is
what did you stop taking? The pills?
Yeah, it was like Narcos, Percocets, muscle relaxers, and then I had to take this pill because I was taking so many opiates. It reversed the effect. Okay. And then I had this nasal spray, and I was like, "What is this for?" And they're like, "Well, if you take too many painkillers by accident and you start to, I guess, OD." You put this up your nose and spray it so it'll bring you back. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want any part of this anymore.
But how would you even be like, how would you even know how to do that if you were ODing?
Well, I'll tell you what, they gave me
Not
2.
to laugh on this.
No, they gave me 2.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. But
that's actually kind of scary.
Yeah, my nose is I was really congested the one day. So I was sitting on the couch and I grabbed this nasal thing and I had no idea what it was. I think it's Narcan.
Oh,
and I'm like, is this for a stuffy nose? So it's only one spray, and it's like
Yeah.
an adrenaline shot. So I
Okay.
didn't know what it was. So I had two of them. So I'm looking at them like, I can't breathe. Maybe I should take this.
Oh.
So just messing around with it, I hit the button. And it was like, psh, and I was like, what the heck is this? And then I read it, and it's like, yeah, in case of an overdose. So good thing I didn't take it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they didn't even tell me like really anything about it.
Well, I'm surprised you got that many pain pills though, especially nowadays.
California, like I said, medical care is not my favorite, and part of the pharmaceutical that I think they run everything in this country, to be honest with you, and that's why they are the richest, and that's why you can't sue them. So what they want to do is give you as many as you can, I feel, and it can help you, and it can also hurt you, because I
Right.
believe that's how people get hooked.
Get
And how many
hooked,
people have
yeah.
taken painkillers, opiates, let's just say, and then got hooked afterwards?
Right.
I wasn't going to be that statistic.
Yeah.
So I stopped cold turkey. In some sick, twisted way, I do like pain and suffering.
Right.
It's just part of my DNA.
Yeah.
But being there about 12, 13 weeks, I lost about $12,000. I couldn't work. I had to hire people to do my job. And sitting there, I became, instead of depressed, anxious.
Uh-huh.
And then I started realizing, living in like a $1 million house, driving a $90,000 Mercedes is cool, but I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Having 3 jobs that pay the bills was taking all my time, and it's like, what does Ryan want to do to make
Right.
Ryan happy?
Yeah.
And I lost sight of that. So
Right.
I said, well, what would make you happy? And I love to travel, and I've always been attracted to Central and South America.
Mhm.
So I did live in Brazil back in 2005 and
okay.
Uruguay.
Ah.
And I remember the feeling of being free.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that. I'm yearning for that
Yeah.
feeling. So I went on YouTube and typed in South America, traveling, something like that. And it showed me all of these people from the United States and Canada
Right.
that bought houses in Costa Rica. And they're just telling their stories. Like, this
Yeah.
is the best thing I've ever did. I quit my job.
Yeah.
I bought a house for $110,000, and I had to just stop. 110.
You're like, wait,
You
what?
can't buy a shed in California
Right.
for $100,000. So I was like, okay, so your money is going to be doubled or
Yeah.
tripled. What's the way of life like?
Mhm.
And it didn't seem like there was like no media. Not a lot of stress, kind of that vacation vibe, and it could be a honeymoon feeling because
Yeah.
everything doesn't last for long.
Right.
So the synchronicity once again.
Yeah.
I'm laying there, and my friend Matt, shout out to Matt. Matt's been an inspiration. He drove his bicycle from Canada all the way down to Patagonia.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He called me up. I said, I heard you're hurt. How's your
Yeah.
leg? And I said, fine. And I said, where are you at? And he said,
Yeah.
Medellín. And I'm like, well, you're going all the way to South America to the tip, to Patagonia.
Right.
Why are you still in Medellín? He said, I've been here for 7 months. So he was only supposed to be there for 2 weeks.
And he stayed.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
for him to stay there, has to be a good-looking Latina
Ah!
or a couple.
They're very good looking down there.
Yes, but he said he loved
the women, especially.
Yes. He said he loved the culture.
Yeah.
And just loved the energy, and that's what I'm attracted to.
Right.
So I told him I wanted to go to Costa Rica and once I'm better, and he said, do me a favor, come to Medellín first.
Okay.
Costa Rica was 10 years ago, plus I wanted to get a remote job. So
Right.
the water goes out once a month, the Wi-Fi goes out for a couple hours a day. I'm kind of spoiled here in Southern California. We have so many beautiful amenities and everything's like snap your fingers. So I was
Right.
like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And then 2 days later, my friend Vic, who is, shout out to Victor, he is a DJ in Tulum, and he's been to Europe and traveled all over Mexico. I call him up and I was like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm in Bogota. I was like, what are you doing in Bogota? He's like, I want to retire here.
Okay.
So the synchronicity, once again, the universe just basically took like two lightning bolts and was like, shoo, shoo, and just smashed me right in the face. And I was like, I think Medellín is the thing I should go after. So fast forward, July came, my leg was a little bit better. Flew down there for 2 weeks. I was presented with the most beautiful energy I could possibly imagine. Matt hooked me up with some friends named my buddy Emil, who's like the Russian godfather of Colombia, I guess you can say. Took me around. People were just walking up to me.
Yeah.
I love your tattoos. You're so exotic. Can I get you a cab? What's your favorite meal? Do you want to date my sister?
Wow.
It was like, wow. And now I'm like, is it because I'm a gringo and they think I have money?
Right.
But after being here for 2 weeks, I realized that people don't need Instagram or social media or really anything else to be happy. It was just a very beautiful, energetic feeling. They look you right into your eyes. They don't try and look down. They don't have that social anxiety. And I know that's, that could be something that people dealing with for their lives, but it seems like a lot of people have that around here.
Yeah.
So I felt free. I felt disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've had a lot of success in businesses.
Right.
My brain was churning. So I decided to leave after my second week. When I got back, I started journaling and it just hit me out of nowhere. You need to sell your studio.
Wow.
And my friends, accountant, friends' wives and girlfriends, probably because they love the studio so much, were like, why would you do this?
Right.
You're number one right now in the county. But, when God or the universe tells you to do something, I listen.
Yeah.
So I booked another trip and stayed there pretty much for the whole month of November.
Wow.
And just really immersed myself into that culture, made about 20 friends.
Wow.
And studio sold, and we are leaving February 16th, which is in about 4 weeks. So this is my way of breaking free, Katie.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, when was that first moment that, like, it hit you that you are free now that you, like, decided it? Do you remember it?
Well, Orange County still has their claws in me now.
Yeah.
I got to get rid of a car. I just subleased my house. There's a lot of responsibilities. But once I was down there and I walked out and seen the view in the city, there was this giant rush of happiness that came over me, and I knew right then and there that I didn't even have a choice.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen, and that's how things happen for me. They're so...
You just knew.
Simultaneously, like, guess what? This is where you're going to live. This is not where you're going to get a house.
Yeah.
This is not where you're going to just buy and invest in some property, make money. This is where your next chapter is going to be.
Do you feel like it's just a next chapter, or do you feel like you could actually live there?
Only God knows.
Or to be determined.
I don't know. Ecuador sounds cool. Peru, Chile, Argentina is pretty dope.
Argentina's
I haven't been there yet. But no, I think I'm going to set some roots in Medellín because the city is so established, and I'm 100%, I know in my mind and my heart and my soul, I'm going to open up a hot yoga studio down there. There's only one out of like 3 million people, so business-wise, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And my heart is telling me to do what I wanted to do about 5 years ago, is do retreats.
Okay, great.
CEOs like myself, people with marriage problems, relationship, whatever, religion, career, whatever's bothering you.
Yeah.
I want to create this beautiful atmosphere where you can disconnect.
Okay.
Go down there, work on yourself, immerse yourself into the Colombian landscape, meditation, yoga, healthy diet, motivational workshops.
Yeah, I love that.
That's my why, my niche. What I get off on is helping people.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
So, I can answer your question once I accomplish all those goals.
Yeah.
So.
But do you feel like it's your entrepreneurial mind that is making you want to leave? Or is it more of you wanting to break out of that cage that you're in kind of in Orange County, or the claws that are kind of sticking you in here?
For 99% of the population, they would have an answer for that.
Okay.
me being the 1%, when something clicks in my head and says go, I don't question it. And that takes a lot of balls. Are we allowed to say balls?
You can say whatever you want.
It takes a lot of balls, a lot of courage.
Yeah.
To do what you want, and I've always been that guy.
And you just do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's probably why I'm not married right now. It's because I just go and do what I want, and I'm not going to let anything hold me back. Not saying relationships would hold you back, but if I did have a serious girlfriend here or a child, I wouldn't be able just to uplift my life.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are vicariously living through me. That's why they're watching my social media. I don't even post that much.
Right.
But they're like, dude, go. And I'm like, aren't you happy? They're like, I love my kids and wife, but I wish I had I had your life. So the grass is always greener.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a lucky Colombiana down there waiting for me.
I'm sure there's a few.
Maybe there's a few.
You never know.
There might be.
Keep your options open, They're very beautiful there.
Yes. I love the Latin culture and the Latin look, and I love how feisty and spicy they are.
Okay. You think you can handle that?
I think it's going to be back
They'll
and forth.
put you kind of in your place a little bit.
Yes,
that, right?
I can't wait.
Okay, there we go. You hear it, ladies?
Salud.
You ready? Salud. Well, think back, I guess, from even like your childhood and stuff too. Like, when was the first time you realized like you were different than other people and you just like went after what you wanted?
My mom, from a very, very young age, I was such a stubborn little bastard.
Okay. Wait, are you an only child or?
I'm the middle child.
Okay, I'm a middle child too.
Yes.
Cheers to middle children.
Cheers. I was told that, not that I didn't listen, but I questioned.
Okay.
You have to do this. And I'd be like, why?
Right.
Well, because this is the way we're going to do it. Why?
Yeah.
Because this is what everybody else is doing. And I'd be like, well, who made this rule up?
Right.
So I was I wouldn't say rebellious, but I just wanted to know everything. Mm-hmm. And, I was a pretty erratic kid, but my mom always used to tell me, you always walk to the beat of your own drum.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was very explorative, I guess you can say.
Okay. Because how old were you when you left your home state?
I probably moved out, I think, when I was like 20, and then moved back in when I was like 28, saved some money.
Okay.
And then moved again to the Jersey Shore.
Okay.
And then to Pennsylvania.
Okay. Then
back to New Jersey. And then I ended up going to California.
Okay. What brought you to California then?
What brought me to California? Well, I started the first ever protein energy drink.
Oh.
Called Jersey Pump.
Oh my God. Stop.
I was training mixed martial arts for about 5 or 6 years.
Jersey Pump.
Yes. All of the fighters wanted sponsor money. So they'd have shorts and you'd have logos.
Okay.
So I had a acquaintance, we can say, who married a rich Jewish girl.
Okay.
And her father gave him, I think, about $650,000.
Okay.
Because he didn't want him to be a loser. And he's like, do something. So
to like go invest in a business?
Do something. Or? Yeah, just do something.
Stop.
Yeah, it was stupid money.
Okay.
At the time, I did very well for myself. And I was probably the most... successful person at that time that he knew, because his friends group were just like people that would always like kind of like leech off him.
Okay.
So after lifting all the time, we would drink a Red Bull before you work out.
Okay.
I didn't do the energy drinks, but they would drink Red Bulls before they work out, and then you drink a muscle milk afterwards for the thing.
The protein, right?
So yeah, we got together and decided, why don't we try and combine both of them into one thing? So we got a scientist, paid him like $60K somewhere in England to create a couple of drinks, a taste test. He had a tasting. He invented the vitamin water. So
he did?
He did. Lady Gaga also had a drink, I think, out at the time.
This is a scientist? Wow, okay.
Yeah. So we paid this guy, and he created this drink, and then we named it Jersey Pump because the movie Gladiator was big.
Okay.
So it was a picture of a guy holding up our drink with a shawl, and it said, "Step into the arena of life."
I was thinking it was more because of like Jersey Shore type stuff.
Yeah.
But you're combining
It wasn't
I
the pump, but it just worked out that way. We had a bright orange H2 Hummer, and I would drive down the boardwalk, and we're just
and this
throwing.
is in California.
No, New Jersey.
Oh, in New Jersey.
We're just
Okay.
throwing out.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he basically kind of created it in California, and then I flew out here 11 years ago to Costa Mesa.
Wow.
First time ever. And I just said, listen, if we're going to do this business and you want my help,
Yeah.
you need to be in Jersey. We can't run a company from California called Jersey Pump.
Yeah.
So, yeah, long story short, Arizona Iced Tea was going to buy it for $1.2 million.
Okay.
I think I was 30. I was in the marijuana business at the time, so
Okay.
this
was before. Wait, 2013. Was this before it was legal here?
Yeah,
Okay.
way before.
Well, way in the past.
But Jersey things.
Jersey things.
Yeah.
But you brought that business to California, or was that?
Well, no. We kept it in Jersey, but I had to learn how to order pallets.
Okay.
Get a manufacturing plant. Like we had to figure out how to call it. Order basically like 50,000 empty cans. We had to call like Bud Light.
Okay.
Because they would like make we didn't call Bud Light. The person who manufactured them also manufactured Bud Light. But long story short, it was it was a learning experience. We were doing very well, and then Hurricane Sandy hit.
Oh, geez.
And then I lost. My house is 5 houses from the beach, so I lost everything I owned.
Wow. Wait, this is where you were living at the time when this happened?
In the Jersey Shore.
Wow.
So my house, it was a war zone. I was displaced.
Oh my
I was on
gosh.
FEMA. I was living in hostels. So I went from being almost like a millionaire to homeless within about 6 weeks.
So you can probably really relate to what is going on right
The people
now.
in the fires.
Yeah, it's
That's
devastating.
I tried telling my friends that the other day.
That's devastating. I mean, and like maybe we aren't affected here in Orange County.
Yeah.
But you know the feeling. Wow.
Well, we weren't allowed there for a week. Once we were there, there's literally dead sharks like a quarter of a mile inland. It was horrendous. There was boats everywhere. In the highways. It was a war zone. And when I walk up to my door and it's open and there's a boot print on it. And I was like,
a boot print. Okay.
Yeah. So the homeless were little scavengers. So I open up it's a very depressing time. I open up my door and my refrigerator is floating in my living room. So the water line was about this high, about 4 feet. So everything I had was ruined.
Yeah.
And I look over, and on my couch, there is a green porcelain Buddha statue, not broke. And I still have it today. The dirt is still in it. I can't wash it out. Like I even tried.
No.
There's a Buddha statue, and then there was a glass pipe and a little bit of marijuana next to it. And I think the homeless person was like, this guy's life is so screwed up. We're going to leave him at least one bowl.
No.
And the Buddha. And I'm just like.
So that was not your Buddha?
That was my Buddha.
Oh, it was your Buddha.
But my Buddha was on like the fireplace mantle. How it just was like sitting on the couch unbroken is just insane. Because it went through a freaking hurricane.
So obviously a homeless person, someone was in there for a bit. Do you think they were looting or were they just...
I think he was just squatting it. Well, I mean, like it was a war zone. So at the Jersey Shore, there's a lot of houses there. Like I was a guest house. So the house in front of me was like a $4 million house. So of course they're going to go in there and look for stuff in safes. Because people, there wasn't no alarms. Like they said there was going to be like when does New Jersey get hit with hurricanes? So they didn't know it was going to be that bad. So we didn't have time to evacuate. Thank God I was in Pennsylvania hanging out with my friends.
Wow.
Like I just heard it. My friend's like, hey, I think a hurricane's coming. Where's Lorenzo, my dog?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's home. So I was like, Mark.
Wait, he was home in Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my brother was watching him. I'm like, hey, I think it's a good idea if you take Lorenzo and you might want to like go inland.
Yeah.
So last second he did, and the
gosh,
next
thank
day we
God.
lost everything.
Wow.
So just getting
That's wild. I did not know this.
so getting back
So
to
you're doing Jersey Pump, and then the hurricane hits.
took all of our inventory.
Took all the inventory got ruined from the hurricane.
Yeah, that and like probably about $50,000 or $60,000 that I invested. Everything was just gone.
Wow.
So
and
but,
this was after the fact that Arizona Iced Tea was going to buy it, but you guys turned it down?
Well, no, we were in talks with it, and we were about to sign the deal.
Okay.
We might actually sign it, but, it takes a long time for everything to go through.
Wow.
So once our warehouses and inventory was demolished, deal was off the table.
Wow.
And then me and Lorenzo, I had a red Honda Civic, and every hotel was filled because everybody was displaced, besides a couple of hostels. And I remember going to about 10 hostels, and if you didn't have a wife and kids, you weren't getting in. So I slept in my car for about 4 or 5 days with Lorenzo on my chest going,
wow.
Yeah. So this is how you know how like you're different.
Yeah.
I was so determined. Like,
right.
let's really see what you're made of.
But why didn't you go to a friend's or go to see your family and stay with them?
Well, New Jersey was, all my family lived in New Jersey, and New Jersey was just rocked.
Okay.
So everybody's having problems, electric out. So after I was trying to just get a hotel and just wait, see if they're going to clean everything up.
Yeah.
So I wound up going to my buddy's house, Derek, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And then me and Lorenzo probably lived there for probably 6 months to a year.
Wow. With not much, right? Like, what did you even take with you?
Nothing.
I
didn't have anything.
Nothing at all.
I was just super, but I was actually, in a sick, twisted way, happy because I was, once again, the element of surprise. I get excited to see, you don't know the future, but let's see what's going to happen next.
Right.
So I started burning desire in my head. What are we going to do?
Because in a way, it weirdly closed the door where you had to figure it out and be open to the universe to what is next, right?
Yeah, you can cry and sit there and say, woe's me, and be depressed, but I have this extra drive, I think, inside me that just okay, cool, let's see what's going to happen next. Yeah. I have a cross on my back. I got it at 19, and it represents God has my back. So I love it. I just know that I possess a drive that can make shit happen.
Right. And you actually take the action towards it, which I find so inspiring itself, because a lot of people have ideas, right? And then they just sit with them. They never do anything about them.
It's not those A+ people that have all the smart ideas. It's those C+ people that know how to execute and get it done.
Were you a C+ student?
I was 100% a C+ student.
Wow.
I'm not the smartest guy, but I will outwork as many people as I can.
Do you believe it was your parents who instilled it in you? Did you grow up okay? Or what made you I'm going to be successful and I'm going to just basically not give up and just keep going?
We grew up in the projects of New Jersey with no money.
Okay.
My dad was trying to make ends meet.
Okay.
Money was a traumatic thing growing up in my house.
Okay.
So when I was 12, I remember my dad's friends asking all of the kids what they want to do when they're older.
Right.
I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a fireman. I want to do this. They looked at me and I said, I want to be retired.
But you're 12?
Yeah. So right away, my parents were like, he's a little different. But yeah, I just, I wanted to just be retired because I don't want to deal with the money stress. But yeah, no, at a very young age, I just knew how to make money. I used to shovel snow. I created a couple of businesses, newspapers, grass cutting companies, and I just always just knew how to hustle. And when you're from New Jersey, you don't come from very much.
Yeah.
And my parents are great. I hit the lottery with them. I wouldn't ask for other parents, but I didn't have parents with money. I didn't have a lot of parents that were very motivating either, because they were trying to do their own thing and take care of
Right.
us. But my mother just always was like, you can do whatever you want to do, just put your mind to it.
I love that.
So yeah, I feel bad for people that did not grow up in poverty. Or I really do,
Yeah.
because they don't know what it's like or what it feels like to not have anything. If you're
Yeah.
born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or if you're just born where you don't have to go through much adversity, how do you know what you're made of?
Right. Well, a lot of people don't. You
Yeah.
know? Until you're challenged or you're faced with that adversity,
That-
you really don't know how strong you really are.
Yeah, that builds character.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that I think a lot of people from New Jersey, if I had to use an adjective to describe New Jersey, it's resilience.
I love that.
And I'm very proud to be a resilient New Jerseyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've been resilient your whole life then, or?
Yes, my mom has told me multiple times, you have a black cloud over your head at all times, but she always said God is always challenging you to everything is happening for a reason.
Right.
So if let's say the hurricane didn't happen
Yeah.
and I was successful, I would be a whole different person on a whole new path.
Right.
But I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
No.
So, yeah, I built myself up. I started a couple process serving companies. I was still doing the marijuana thing, you know.
Okay. And that's when you're still on the East Coast, or were you in California?
No, when I was in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
I was like, you're not going to defeat me. Moved back to New Jersey.
Right.
And then 2015, I had a beautiful girlfriend. I had this gigantic freaking penthouse apartment condo.
Yeah.
The reason why I got that is because I was looking for a place to live, and there was a house shortage. So my
Yeah.
realtor
Okay.
showed me about 15 houses, and every one of them just getting bought up because there was nowhere to live.
Right.
Finally, she went to this 2-bedroom house. I'm like, it's perfect. I don't care. I don't have a lot of
Yeah.
money, but I want this.
Yeah.
A Mustang pulls up, and the for sale or for rent sign, the guy comes and takes it out, and I just lost my shit. I was like, oh my God, like, can I just have a freaking break?
Yeah.
And she started crying.
The girlfriend.
No, the realtor.
The realtor,
She was
okay.
like watching me just get kind of screwed over every
Yeah.
time. I was like, yes, I'll get the place.
Oh.
So she talked to her friend,
Okay.
and her friend's dad just passed away, and the dad lived in a 4th-story penthouse with a private elevator.
Oh, gee.
I had no idea. She's like, Ryan, come to this place right now. And I was like, I don't want to be disappointed. Fine. So I take Lorenzo, and it's just all garages, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, how the hell do I get up here? And she's like, private elevator. That's the elevator. It's to the side. It's cool because nobody can get to you. So I take the private elevator
Yeah.
up. It's this beautiful 2-bedroom penthouse with this. It was gigantic, more than I ever needed. And the lady's looking at me and said, you know, I've heard your story, and I want you to have this place.
Oh
She's
my
like, what can you
gosh.
afford? And I was like, $1,500 a month. She's like, as long as you take care of it, it's yours.
Oh my.
So you want to talk about like
That's a God
being
thing
home?
for sure.
Yes.
You know.
So I was just like, okay, this is.
Wow.
When a lot of things happen like this,
Yeah.
you stop questioning things.
Yeah.
You just let
Yeah.
that the universe is going to take care of you. But 2015, I'm with my girlfriend, and life is good. And
Yeah.
then winter hits, and for 17 days straight, it was raining,
Oh.
sleeting, and snowing.
Yeah.
And in a 2-month period, there was no sun.
Oh.
And in 2015, at the Jersey Shore, it's very dead during the winter time,
Mm-hmm.
very docile. Everybody started arguing. People are arguing in the stores. My people next door are thinking about getting divorced. My landlord's going after like 3 people. And I was flying back to California,
Okay.
doing the marijuana business. And I remember how sunny it was out here and how beautiful it was. And the one day me and my girlfriend got to a fight, and I literally just stopped talking for about a couple days. And she was like,
Yeah.
Ryan, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm out.
Wow.
Mentally checked like I am
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to explain it. She's like, you're being very antisocial.
Right.
What's going on? You don't want to go out.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm sorry. I'm leaving.
Wow.
So we had a breakup.
Yeah.
Broke my lease. Packed
Was
my
it
car.
the lack of sun, or you just like when you're done, you're done? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like when I'm done, I'm done.
I don't have
But-
control over it. I just sat in my house.
So
My
just,
friends
like,
would want to
one
come
day,
over,
there's
and I'm
no
just sitting there.
sun.
As social as I am, I'm just like, I felt like a zombie, and I was just like, I need to leave. And she saw how serious I was,
Yeah.
and she knows I walked to the beat of my own drum. I drove cross country. This is where it gets good. With Lorenzo, once again, he's in the back seat, and I remember having a flashlight in my mouth, and I got to Colorado.
Okay.
And I opened up a map, a real map, not Google Maps.
Not even a Thomas guide? Was it a
real
Thomas
map,
guide, or was
a
it
real
like a
map
real map?
of
Okay.
Orange County. I know I wanted to live in Orange County. I'm sitting there. I'm like, where do I live? And I was like, screw this. Closed my eyes, took a pencil, and just went.
Stop.
And it said Corona Del Mar. And I looked up at Lorenzo, and he looked at me and said, I think he said, what the hell's Corona Del Mar? And I'm like, that's where we're moving.
That's where we're going. Not a bad place to.
So I drove here, and I landed up in the Bay condos, which was right next to Fashion Island. And that's when I had my first glimpse of
Wow.
Orange County, because I'm like, Fashion. I was embarrassed to tell my boys in Jersey, like, where do you live? Oh, Fashion Island. I'm not telling them that. They'd be like, what the heck's wrong with you?
They might think other.
Yeah. So
other things.
I mean, I could have landed instead of Corona. It could have been Corona.
Right.
Shout out to Corona. No offense to Corona, but I mean, I could have been living there. But that's what brought me to this area.
Wow.
So I lived in Park Newport.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember looking over the bay, and so much excitement from my toes all the way to my forehead, burning with desire, looking out into the stars, going, who am I going to date? Who's going to be my business partner? What am I going to do? Because I stacked up a decent amount of money.
Right.
So, yeah, I just jumped right into the marijuana business.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you got big into that. And then what happened after that? Is that when you did the yoga studio? Or?
Yeah, the yoga studio was next. I actually called a girl to deliver me marijuana because I want to know if it was legal. And she said it was legal. So I went down there and I was like, here's $100. Come upstairs. I promise you, I just want to ask you a couple questions. And she was like, okay. So she came upstairs and I was like,
Okay.
I need to know how to open up a marijuana business. So she's like, get a nonprofit benefit permit and pay $800 to the state of California. And I was like, that's it. That's how easy it was.
What year was that?
2015.
Okay.
So I started a delivery service out of a closet.
Okay.
And I believe a good salesman, I was delivering it to everybody and just giving everybody free product.
To try.
And I was growing and growing my business.
Yeah.
And then I had a partner. We didn't really have a name. So I listed 4 names that I got collectively from my friends. One was Bud's Bunny. One was Your Highness, which was mine.
I kinda like
No.
that
One was Bud's Bunny, Your Highness, Righteous Remedies, that was mine, and then Herbiculture.
Okay.
So I went to the bar with a piece of paper and a pen and talked to about 70 patrons,
Like,
drunk off their ass. If you had a delivery service, I'm going to give you 4 names. What would you pick? And 77% said Herbiculture.
yeah.
So I named it Herbiculture. So
Okay.
that's how Herbiculture became. And then
Yeah.
I did very well for myself. And then I moved right around the corner here in that really big house
Right.
where I had a dispensary, which you had no idea.
I had no idea.
And then I opened up 2 more dispensaries and 4 more delivery services.
And they were like legit dispensaries?
Yeah,
or-
as legit as you can get.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I feel that I did above average is because you have to separate yourself
Okay.
from any other business.
Yeah.
So there was a girl that worked at Hooters.
Okay.
She was a customer of mine. She called me up and said, I need to get some marijuana. I just quit my job. I hate my life. She was pretty smart. She was 22.
Okay.
She was very advantageous. Kind of had that drive that I did.
Okay.
So she had a white Porsche.
Okay.
blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
I said, what do you think about being my delivery driver? Because I thought that would be a great idea.
Right.
So she was like, let's do it. So she became my manager.
Okay.
And then I would get calls going, I got another one. She would cut everybody off and people would chase her and her plates would go away. So these guys would follow her back to my house and I'd be standing out there with a bat. And like she'd pull in and they'd pull up and they'd see me and they'd just drive off. I'm like, you gotta stop doing this.
Was she doing that to like
Yeah, she's 22 years old. No, just people on the road. Just people on the road. I'm like, you have marijuana on you. Can you not do this? She's like, I do it afterwards. She had a little Porsche. She's 22.
Oh my god.
So I think her cousin was named Shaylin. So she's like, she was from Missouri, Mississippi, somewhere.
Like, how is a Hooter waitress like affording a Porsche? But
well, I guess when you want, I think she did pretty good trading stocks, but I guess if you just want something so bad, you'll put all your money to it. It wasn't the best Porsche, but it was convertible.
Right.
Then her cousin, Shaylin, was like 22, 23, and she was like, hey, my cousin wants to work for you.
Yeah.
So I got her on the phone, a cute little redhead. Hey Ryan, how y'all doing? I'm like, oh man, this is gonna work.
God.
So I think we like co-signed for the car or whatever. We got her a really crappy Porsche. It was like $8 or $9 I think she got. And then I had two girls delivering marijuana in convertible Porsches. So like say you're ranked from like 1 to like 500 in the marijuana industry. I went from like 157 to number 6 in the county like that. Wow. I know sex sells. How do you separate yourself from other businesses?
Yeah. You get cute blondes.
Get two
blonde and a redhead.
Get two 22-year-old girls driving convertible Porsches, delivering marijuana. Guys are calling up 4 times a day.
Oh my god.
Little perverts. And and yeah, I was like, man, this is like, and it was really cool because I was getting like a lot of, I don't want to say respect, but a lot of my friends were like, damn, this guy, he there's little magic to this. You got to do something different that separates you. I know I keep repeating myself, but I was like, how can I do that?
Right.
So yeah, but that lasted, that was the most money I've ever had.
Wow.
Biggest house, nicest cars. I had like two Mercedes, but that's when I was the most unhappiest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was just like, I got all this money, I got all this bank accounts,
yeah,
dating a lot of women.
Yeah. You're living.
There got to be something more because your dopamine can only go up. You can only make it as much money. You can only have sex so much, and you can only, the universe puts you kind of up on a pedestal, and then everybody wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
And it's kind of attention I didn't want. Then you don't know who wants something from you or who's genuine. Right. So, but yeah, so the yoga was the next.
Because you're like, I need more than this. Was your soul kind of feeling empty?
It was dry.
Yeah.
I'd never been depressed in my freaking life.
Really? And that was the first time?
That's when I was like, I called my dad up and I said, Dad, there's something wrong with me.
Wow.
And I was like, this sucks. And he was like, he's like, what did he say to me? He said something that stuck in my head. He said, you've always been different and you're built for greatness. You're not built just to make money. Money's not going to make you happy. So I wanted to hit the reset button on my life.
Yeah.
So I was picking them up from the airport.
Your parents?
Yes. In California. I remember having this brand new Mercedes that was the first hybrid, and they had bumper absorption. Like it was a bumper that if impact absorption, like you wouldn't get hurt as bad. I knew it was all this new technology.
Yeah.
Driving them, pick them up, 9 a.m. I'm on the 405. For some reason out here, the 405 has 8 lanes, right? But then there would be 2 lanes that are just stopped for miles, and the other ones are keep going. I never understood this. So I'm driving, and then all of a sudden, I come up over a hill, and then there is 2 lanes that are just stopped, and the other like 6 or 7 lanes are just going 90 miles per hour. So I hit the brakes, and I had Lorenzo in the car.
Oh, gosh.
And I turned around, and I said, something tells me I should turn around. So I turned around, and there are 2 Asian dudes. Their faces were like this. And that's the last thing I remember. So they smashed my car. I wake up.
Wait.
I'm in the driver's seat. I wake up and I see pieces of my car getting... Even though somebody just smashed us, people are still driving 90 miles per hour in the other lanes. I hear like my car piece is just getting ran over. This guy speaking Chinese to me. I have no idea what he's saying. I'm disoriented. I look. Lorenzo's in the back seat. Yeah, he's just like panting. I'm just like, Jesus God. And my neck felt fine. I was just in shock. I knew I was like banged up a little bit, but I wanted to pick my parents up. I refused the ambulance. They towed my car. And I picked my parents up.
How did you pick your parents up?
I forget. I probably Ubered or taxi.
Okay.
But I got them back to the house.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was fine.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, I woke up and I couldn't move.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I was just like this. So, right away, the surgeons wanted to fuse my neck together. So if that's your vertebrae, right? And there's your discs.
Oh, jeez.
They were out all the way.
Right.
And I guess if it's 6 centimeters to your spinal cord, you need to get surgery. If it's 4 centimeters to your spinal cord, you need to get emergency surgery because your head just has to get hit and then it's going to hit your spinal cord. Yeah. So mine was 4. I refused surgery because my surgeon said that if I got surgery, I would not be able to turn my neck like this.
Stop.
He said, you're going to have to go like this. So 36 years old, I'm like, that's not going to work for me. I'm a very active guy. So for 6 months, I went against the medical care again.
Wow. But you listened, I think, to your intuition.
I listened to my body.
You know, you listened to
I don't want to be Frankenstein.
Dude, that's wild. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well, I was walking around, like, this shoulder was up, this one was down, and my neck was like this. So I was walking around. I got, like, fat, pale, hairy. I was just sitting there. I'm just like, this sucks. I'm like, what the hell? And then I went to a holistic doctor.
Okay, yeah.
And he said, listen, I can help you. You don't need surgery. Mm-hmm. But we're going to put you in a traction machine where you lay in this bed.
Wow.
And you put your head in this, like, net. And the net closes and pulls your neck out and then in and out and in. Really, really cool technology.
Wow. That sounds good just for stretching right now.
It's called decomp, right? Decompression.
Yeah.
So I did that for about 2 months and it was hurting so bad. And I said, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Can I just work out? Can I start boxing again? Can I do anything? He's like, no. I said, what can I do? He said, yoga.
Okay.
So I looked at him and said, yoga's for girls.
Wow.
And he looked at me and said, young man, I think you should work on your ego.
Oh, good doctor.
I'm
there.
like, who's this freaking
you're
guy?
from Jersey.
Who's this guy telling me I gotta work on my ego? What are you talking about? Forget about it, right? And I was just like, okay, fine.
Wow.
I'll go to yoga.
Okay, I love that.
Went to yoga for 6 months. This is kind of funny. I couldn't concentrate because I have all these beautiful yoga butts in my face. I'm like, not used to this. Couldn't concentrate. And then this one girl said, close your eyes.
Okay.
Close your eyes. So I closed my eyes for 15 minutes. Inhale up. Inhale, exhale down. And I just closed my eyes. And I finally was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Became really good friends with Jenny, who now owns Raw Yoga. Shout out to Raw. That's where I started. And,
wow.
I was invited on a trip to Nepal.
That's when it started.
So my dad told me that I have to hit the reset button. So I just left everything, went to Nepal for 2 weeks, and had the biggest transformation of my life. And we can save that for another time. But as I'm driving on this bus for 9 hours around these crazy mountains in Nepal with monkeys hanging off the bus.
Yeah.
I remember looking up and like the sun cracked the clouds and just hit me right in the head. And I turn around to everybody. 17 people, 15 of them are yoga teachers. I look up and I say, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a yoga studio. And everybody turned around and was like, what? No, one, I'm not realizing that I'd be competition for Raw.
Oh, and you're with her, right?
Yeah. Lovely woman. Shout out to Jenny. And two, and her husband. And then two, they're like, what do you know about yoga? And I said, listen, I came here and I started
Yeah.
4 delivery services and 2 dispensaries. And also, me and my friend, the Kotler brothers, we started a company called Elixicure, which is a CBD topical. Because both of our moms...
No, that was good.
Yeah, both of our moms had like arthritis. Well, they created the company and I just helped them.
Wow.
But their mom had like fibromyalgia. My mom had arthritis.
Yeah.
And once again, it's doing something to help people.
Right.
We didn't want... You look at Tiger Balm or any of these other Flexol, Bengay, they have like thousands of chemicals. So we wanted a all organic, all natural pain relief cream with CBD.
Yeah.
We created it. So it was like, wait, I have the marijuana company.
Yeah.
I have this CBD topical.
Yeah.
I can make the first CBD topical pain relief yoga studio. So 3 days later, I opened up my first yoga
3
studio.
days later?
3 days later. I was not wasting time. I needed a challenge in my life.
3 days later.
Well, I was like, had to come in the Jesus moment.
Because when did you open it? 2019?
2019.
Okay.
Sold my dispensaries
So that was...
in 2021 because I had this come in the Jesus moment that I don't need money anymore. Holy Jesus.
What?
Yeah, that was...
Are you serious?
I look back on that and I wonder why God let me do that.
Wait, in 21 you sold all that? That side of the
It
business?
wasn't serving me.
Wow.
I was walking around the people, they're like, you're not talking to this person, or what happened here? I'm like, they're not serving me. And then people took it the wrong way. Like, they're not your butler. I'm like, that's not what I meant. Energetically.
Yeah.
Like, I was dating a couple girls, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just don't think this relationship is serving me anymore. And they're like, what do you mean serve? It was very,
Yeah.
I was like going through this whole spiritual transition, but
But what was the catalyst for the spiritual transition?
defeating my ego.
Wow. And do you think yoga helped you do that?
I cried my ass off when I was out there.
In Nepal.
Growing up in New Jersey, it's like being raised by a pack of wolves. You can't show any kind of remorse or emotion
Right.
because they're smart people out there. You'll get attacked if they know that
Yeah.
you're soft. So growing up is training as like a fighter, and my dad being a very alpha male.
Okay.
And just like when you're growing up in a place that doesn't have a lot of money, there are people who will look for weakness. So you always had this armor on.
Right.
But I couldn't defeat that egotistical guy I was until I went to Nepal.
Wow, and that pretty much broke you open.
Yeah. That was the catalyst of
Wow.
everything. That changed me from being more religious to more spiritual. And just accepting life and learning how to meditate, because in New Jersey it's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Dog eat dog, go, 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 go.
Right.
That's how I was born and bred. So to transition, it took 14 days of just beating myself down of basically, this is how you can live a more meaningful life.
Yeah.
Be mindful about things. I was never mindful about anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you never... That's wild, though, that, like, you just kind of, like, switched.
Yeah, I was, like, training and fighting every day.
Yeah.
In New Jersey, selling tons of marijuana, and I had 2 process urban companies. So you're doing that nonstop, egotistical animosity, like make money, eat.
Yeah.
And then I brought that here, and that's why I was successful.
You were successful because you brought that here.
Well, because I walked around when I first moved out here, and I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm like, there's cars everywhere. Does anybody work? It's 2:00 in the afternoon every day. Why is everybody home? And then people are like, I'd meet people like, sorry, I'm an hour late. Dude. And I'm like, this ain't acceptable. And I was like, you know what? There's no urgency here. I'm going to capitalize.
Wow.
So you mix that and sprinkle some convertible Porsches with women.
Right.
That was a recipe of success. But then another transition into the yoga studio. I was telling you earlier.
Yeah.
The Costa Mesa police officers raided my studio twice with guns because...
With guns?
I was so successful with having dispensaries and delivery services, I decided to keep the same name. Don't ever do that. Herbiculture, if you break it down, means herba is plant-based horticulture. culture means union,
Right.
community.
Yeah.
In my mind, plant-based community.
Yeah.
In real life, it means you're a marijuana store.
Oh.
So the cops came up there twice.
I guess it kind of does sound like it.
Yeah,
if you
with
think
their
about
guns.
it.
Where's the weed? And I'm like, what? We're doing yoga.
Right.
So I got closed down twice. And
Wow.
then, once again, beat down. Built myself up. 6 months later, had...
They closed you down?
Oh, yeah.
For how long?
For like a week.
Okay.
So, and there's people doing yoga in a downward dog, and the cops come in.
No, stop.
I'm like, I left Jersey for this shit.
Did they breathe through it?
No, they didn't. And I was going to, like, literally, I wanted to physically hurt the police officer. Oh, the guy was like, I was like, tell me what's illegal here.
Yeah.
He was
you have
like,
CBD like lotion.
He's like, these things say CBD. I go, they're dog treats. And he was like, you got to remove them. And then I got right in his face. I'm like, do you have a freaking dog? He's like, I have 2 of them. I was like, if your dog had cancer, you'd be coming to me.
100%.
And Lorenzo's sitting right there. And I was just like, the cop's like, take it off the shelf. I'll take a photo so I can send it to my captain, my superior. And then when I leave, do whatever you want. So 6 months later, I remember I hit 30 customers. This is like $100 of membership. Yeah, $3,000, right? My overhead was like 10. I'm still losing $7,000 a month.
So this is when you gave up weed, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're here 6 months into Herbiculture's first year.
Yeah.
Bang, COVID. I was like, what else you got for me? Bring it. Because I survived a hurricane, and I survived Nepal, and I survived the accidents. What else you got for me? Oh, man, I was mother effing him the whole time. Like, can I just catch a break? But once we were the last studio that closed down because I knew it was bullshit, and I don't care. I'm telling it right now. The pandemic.
Well, that's the reason I met you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because my normal studio was totally shut down.
Synchronicity. Yeah.
And so I found your studio.
I refused to close. And then...
I love the CBD, by the way. That was so good.
Yes. Thank you. So we closed down. And then we opened back up.
Yeah, because you didn't close down for that long, did you?
I closed down as long as the state of California wanted us to close down.
Okay.
And then opening up, it was just like the delivery service. There was a yoga studio on every corner. Super saturated. The most health conscious place in America.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do something different. So what did I do? I added pole dancing.
So this is when all the other studios opened back up, right?
Yes.
Okay, this makes sense.
And if I just opened up another yoga studio, I wouldn't be different.
Right.
Wouldn't be Ryan, right? So I added poles, and then
I remember. I never took a class though.
Yeah,
it's
the first male pole dancing studio owner that I know of. And then my friend Ashley came to me, and she had these silk things.
Yeah.
And just brought them out of the car. She's like, do you want to buy these? And I was like, are these curtains?
Wow.
I had no idea. So.
And then didn't you go to training or something?
No, I was like, show me what this is. So she hung them up, and she started doing it. And me being I'm like a competitive guy. I'm like, I need to know how to do this.
Right.
So I took 6 classes.
Okay.
She was teaching, and it was probably 2 months into her teaching. She took 6 classes. Okay. Then Saturday morning, one of my teachers was supposed to come in and teach.
Yeah. I
got a call. Ryan, there's 7 girls in the silks hanging here, and there's no teacher. The class started at 10. It was 10:07 in the morning. I grabbed a button-up shirt I was wearing the night before because I was out.
Yeah.
And board shorts.
Wow.
Didn't wash my face, brushed my teeth. Ran to the studio, walked in at 10:17, and said, I will be your instructor.
No. And that was the first
whatever
class.
I learned from the 6 classes, I just put together a sequence.
No way. You
Telling
did
you.
that right on the spot?
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you're
I'm
the
not
owner,
going to
I mean-
disappoint my people.
Oh my God. So did they like it?
The one girl asked me if I ever taught before. But I love challenge,
Yeah. I
right?
can see
So
that.
I basically started teaching,
Yeah.
and fast forward 2.5 years later, all my classes were sold out like a week before, week in
Wow.
advance. I think it's because I had a lot of good jokes. I think it's because I had Lorenzo, my dog, in the class.
Was he there always?
Every single class.
Oh.
My Lorenzo lived at the studio. He is a staple of that community. I'd never seen a dog so spoiled. He would have 25 girls petting him every night.
That's probably why he's doing so well.
Yeah, he's a little legend. He just
Yeah.
gets. I believe he's staying. He's alive and well because of all the love he gets.
Yeah.
So when you're getting pet by 25 women every night, and you're getting babied by me,
Yeah.
you just got a lot of good vibe and energy.
Right.
I think that'll keep you alive.
I think so. And he's going to join you in Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were the #1 ranked pole dancing studio. We were #1 ranked aerial yoga studio, and you would think that let's keep going, but
Yeah.
as I said earlier,
Yeah.
I decided that it's time to change
time.
directions and let's just do something crazy and go to South America.
Now, from all your times that you have jumped and moved on to all these different ventures, have you ever like missed any part of that last chapter? Or have you always just been, you like let it go and you're fully embracing the new chapter?
It's a great question. I never really have any regrets because I feel
Yeah.
like your story is kind of written
Yeah.
before you live it.
Right.
So, that might be kind of a weird, twisted way in my head, but no, I don't
Yeah.
think about anything that's like, do I miss certain things in some aspects? Yeah, but I never
Yeah.
will dwell on it. It's like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be.
It's supposed to be
And
right
this
now.
feels so right. And you can't, here's the thing, you can't go back there anyway.
No, you
What
can't.
am I going to do? I'm
Yeah.
going to make the most of what the present life has given me.
Yeah. So is there anything right now that you're like scared to leave, or are you just fully feeling free in your heart and you are ready?
I made a lot of good friends here.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed. My database has 10,500 people.
Wow.
So I probably met about half of those people
Yeah.
personally. I made a lot of beautiful connections.
Mm-hmm.
I made a lot of beautiful friendships. But no, there is this block in my head that's like, you have to go and you're not going to look back. And I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I can always come back here and visit, but I don't think there's... I think I would be terminally ill if I stayed here.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm here talking to you. Mentally,
Yeah.
I'm checked out. And
Yeah,
I'm
you're
living
ready.
in Colombia right now.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the mug right now.
I do.
You
Do you
know.
see this amazing mug?
We're really just trying to get in the
Medellín?
moment, you
Yes.
know?
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I find it so interesting, like just even all your stories that you've shared, because it
Thank
shows your resilience and it shows that your mindset is like when you want something, you go after it.
Mhm.
And I guess, like, what type of advice would you give to anyone really listening, like that first step of going after what they want? What would you say?
I get that question a lot
Okay.
by my friends. My advice is this. My biggest fear in life is if I never tried.
Yeah.
Honestly, my biggest fear in life is, why didn't I try and do that before? Because you can always do something, and if you don't like it, you can always go back.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear is me sitting here 10 years from now going, what happens, what it could have been.
Right.
I'll never give up a situation or opportunity like that. I'm a big risk taker.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I'm here, and I've been through so many things.
Yeah.
But that's what makes you who you are.
Right.
So I have the confidence where I believe that I can go anywhere in the world, and
Yeah.
I'm going to. And when I say successful, by the way, I don't mean money financially. I mean happiness.
Yeah, I agree with you
So
there.
I feel that you can take me
Mm-hmm.
and put me anywhere in the world, and I'm going to adapt.
Yeah, you're going to do great.
Yeah.
But I guess what would be your advice to people who isn't
Take your
Ryan?
take your chance.
Yeah.
Take a risk, and if it doesn't work out, you can always go back. Like
Yeah.
people that live in these, their families have millions of dollars,
Mhm.
and they never left Orange County.
Mhm.
It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
My friends are like, why would you want to leave Orange County?
Right.
You have these beautiful beaches, the beautiful people, the most desired destination to live.
Yeah.
My question to them is,
Why do you want to stay?
where have you lived? Where have you lived? Besides Orange County,
Yeah.
in your mom's $1 million house, which I feel,
Yeah.
they're very grateful and blessed.
Yeah.
They're good people. Where else have you lived besides Orange County? Or where else have you lived besides California? Now, I lived in Florida, New York, New
Right.
Jersey, Hawaii,
Right.
Brazil, Uruguay. I can say I believe this is the best place because I've lived in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So how can you tell me that California is the best place to live when you've never lived
When you've
anywhere
never
else?
lived
It doesn't
anywhere
make sense. It's like, and it's great that they love the place they
Yeah.
live, but you have to step outside your box because you don't
Right.
know what you're made of.
Well, and that's my whole purpose of this show is how to get out of your cage. And a lot of us, society, is comfortable, right? In this cage. It's
Yeah.
warm, it's easy, it's nice. They never leave Orange County because it's beautiful. Why would they, right? But here's the cage. The door is open, but it's our job to step out and fly. And I find that
I
so
love
many
that.
people just get too comfortable. And it's like the people who truly live, they have to step out and they have to try to fly. Because the last thing, if the worst thing that happens is, okay, it didn't work. Well, you have your cage to go back to if you want to go back.
Comfortability
right?
to me is the biggest dream killer there is.
Oh, 100%. I talked about this, I think, on, I don't know, one of the other ones I did where I met these two guys from the UK in Buenos Aires, and they were teaching me, comfort is the number one drug in probably all of the world. And it's so true because everyone gets so comfortable. So it admires me that you are taking that leap.
Thank you.
I get it, and I I hear you because I just left and traveled all last year for 6 months, but it's about
Very
taking
proud of
that
you
step.
for doing that, by the way.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy that
Thank
you did that.
And my heart kind of is in South America and especially Argentina because of the warmth of the people. But in general, South America, it's just different. They love, they live, they really embrace life.
They do.
So I'm excited for you to really engulf yourself in that culture because I know how it feels, right? And yes, I have traveled all over the world and I've seen so many beautiful places. But Orange County is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's my favorite place to fly back into.
I appreciate and I love it. But I'm here and I'm trying to figure out even this whole society thing being back. But it's I don't want to go back to that cage or old patterns or, the corporate America that I left to go be free, right? So here we are talking, and my intention is to chat with people to bring up their stories to help inspire other people, right?
Yeah. The advice I would give people is the same advice I was giving all of the girls at the pole dancing studio. The yogis would walk out, and I'm very good at reading body language. Their shoulders are up, and they're just looking, and it's okay. Why I would push them to try aerial. Because it's still yoga, but it's something different. Or I would push them to do
The
pole. And it was really funny because I did break through with many of them.
Yeah.
And it's a girl would walk in and be her shoulders would be all up. And I would recognize anxiety. Lorenzo would too, which is really crazy. He would walk right up to the girl. And I'd say, "What's your name?" "My name's Jen." "Jen, let me guess. You were sitting downstairs in the parking lot for 15 minutes contemplating come up here." And she's swear to God, about at least 6 or 7 times, "Oh my God, how did you know?" "Well, you're here for a reason."
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to all the girls. My community was fabulous. So, "Hey everybody, this is Jen. This is her first time." They would all congregate, say hi. And then 2 months later, Jen's whipping around the pole with her hair all sweaty. like, I'm a badass bitch. And I'm like, that's what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I love to push people out of their comfort zone. And the advice I would give people is do things that scare the shit out of you. When I would have my class, that would be something I say almost all the time at the end.
Wow.
For Shavasana.
Yeah.
I said, you're here. 90% of the people do the same thing day in, day out. Drive to work.
Yeah.
Work, come home, watch Netflix, eat, go to bed. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You're that 1%. You're hanging upside down in a silk today.
Right.
So kudos to you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of girls that I literally would start crying.
Right.
So for me, I want that feeling that I have.
Yeah.
I need to find that in Colombia.
Oh, you're gonna find that there.
Oh,
you already have.
Yeah, I'm very confident that
it's in your heart.
I want to build another community. I think we just figured that out.
Yeah, you're going to do that.
Yeah, Jersey Pump was a community. Marijuana was a community. Herboculture was a community. The best community is yet to come.
Yes. So what do you look forward to the most in Colombia?
Breaking free from the United States.
There you go. Right.
There's bacterial fog in Florida, drones in New Jersey, California's burning down. I'm out of here.
You're out of here.
I am out of here. I can't wait to have that company embrace me and wrap their big Medellín arms around me. And I can't wait to just finally just wake up and look over that beautiful city and do the same thing I did 6 years ago or 9 years ago here.
Yeah.
Who am I going to work with? Who's going to be my friend?
Yeah.
Who am I going to do podcasts with?
Exciting.
Who am I going to date? Who's going to be Lorenzo's caregiver? I'll find a couple of them.
Oh, I know.
So,
I'm now dog sitting, but you're leaving, so.
Breaking free is, I really commend you for...
Thank you.
For displaying this and doing this, because it feels like this is like the work that you're called to do. But I think right now there's thousands of people sitting in their houses doing the same thing every day that should be breaking free. And maybe they just need a little push, or maybe they can watch your podcast or
just little things
just to just make a little fire under their butt. Little fuego
Take that
under their
first
culo, and like just do something that scares the shit out of you.
I love it.
Yeah. You can overdose on it. It could be the other way.
Do something that scares the shit out of you.
You like that?
I do. I think it might scare a lot of people.
Good. Though. That's what you want, though.
But even if it's just like stepping outside and talking to a stranger, if that's something you've never done, like try it.
Walking by the water and saying that's a great place to meditate.
And then realizing like, wait, I'm like, you know me. And you're like, oh.
I was literally had my headphone was like just barely on. And I just heard my name, Ryan, very faintly.
Yeah.
Because I would have just kept walking.
Because I'm like, hey, dude.
And then I turned around.
What are you, too cool? You don't remember me? Come on, Ryan. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, wait, who are you? Wait, you went to my yoga studio?
And my mom is so confused. She's like, why are you talking? What do you do? You just find people by the river? I'm like, no, Mom. I was like, I know somebody. But
and here you are, maybe inspiring, others to go break free.
You know what? I think this story, it feels really good letting this story out, because I've told bits and pieces to people.
Yeah.
But it's good to actually... I hope I didn't take too much of your time.
No, I love that you're here.
Yeah, eventually I would like to write a book. I've had too many people come up to me.
You absolutely
Billy,
should.
You should write a book with all the stories you have.
You have so many stories.
Yeah.
But I think the underlying meaning behind all of it is resilience, right?
I think so.
And to truly live.
Yeah.
And to go be free.
Yeah. I don't know how much more I can break free after Colombia.
I mean, you're going to be pretty free there.
I'm pretty free.
You're going to be...
like American thinning eagle flying around.
I am a free bird for sure.
We're not bald. We're thinning eagle over there.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll have to come visit because my other friend Alex lives down there.
You always have a friend in Medellín.
Yeah.
And I would love for, I move in a month, almost exactly 30 days from now. But it would be really cool to see in 3 months where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
and if you come back, we'll have to do a little follow-up.
I'm 100% down. I'd love that.
Yeah, and see your feelings, and you'll probably like be married with a few kids by then, you know. On the
Hola,
way.
mi gente.
Oh,
¿Cómo estás?
muchos niños,
Me
sí.
encanta Colombia. Oh my
Oh,
God.
muy bien.
Muy hermosa. That's what I'd like to say. Because it's so
Hermosa,
beautiful.
sí, yeah.
It's so
Muy linda.
yeah, it's so the people just get you. The people, you have a lot of friends here.
Yeah.
I would say acquaintances, and some are good friends, but there you can really see the genuosity that people really do care about you.
Yeah.
My friends live down there.
It's a Latin American thing for sure.
Yeah, I have friends down there, and I was just observing his friends that only knew him for 7 months.
Wow.
And they were treating him like family.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is...
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I feel like a sense of home is like where your heart feels most at peace. You know?
Bob Marley used to say home is where your head is.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable here, then you be comfortable everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Bob.
I know. Go Bob. Any last parting words, sir?
No, I just want to say thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and a great opportunity to get this off. I don't want to say get it off my chest, but it's been a while that I was able to explain everything pretty much in detail. So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes. That's kind of my motto. It's like, let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
Be open what the universe has for you and go with the flow.
And break free.
And break free. So go spread your wings and fly, little birdies.
There you go. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Ryan.
Muchas gracias.